Starting with your single leg extension. So lying down on your mat, arms are down by your side, squeeze those legs together, your toes are on the mat here, and you're extending one leg along the mat and then drawing it back in. As you reach your long leg away from your hips, your toes are staying connected to the mat, so is your foot. As you lengthen out long, pulling between your hip bones, so drawing between your hip bones. Good. Nice and stable through that core. Rib cage is closed. Drawing a straight line between your hips. Good. Scissors. So here you really want to keep that body balanced and stable. You're working really slowly here. Are we ready? Squeeze both legs together. Lift both legs up. And then we're separating those legs. Reaching your toes away from your hips here. With the leg that sends backwards, especially when the top leg moves back, make sure those hips stay square, so you never want to move back with your legs or forward. Pulling between those hip bones. And you're squeezing and swishing those inner thighs past each other. Nice and slow and strong, challenging that core. Good. Straight leg pulses. So you're bending the underneath leg up into a 90-degree angle. The top leg is straight, internally rotated. And here we go. Pulsing that straight leg up and down in front of the hip line. So you notice that my head is lifted now into my hand. Or if you still like the other position, you can just place the long arm down and place the head back down. Drawing in between the hip bones, lifting up underneath that side of your body. Hips are square, leg is straight. Good work. And keep that internal rotation. Nice, straight, long leg. Good. Clams. So you're bending both knees into a 45-degree angle here. So your toes are back in line with your bottom and your knees are bent. Hips are square. Nice, strong core. And you're opening the top leg up. Here we go. Knee points to the ceiling. As it rotates outwards and lifts, you're keeping those hips nice and square. Good. So make sure as you lift the leg up, your hips are square, pointing forward like two headlights in a car. Squeezing into that top glute as you open up. Good work. Squeeze it. Lift the knee. Keep those toes connected. Good work. And now your clams with your single leg extension. So you are opening up, extending from the knee when you reach the toes away from the hips here. So it's more of an extension, not a kick. Are you ready? Clam, extend, toe to toe, knee to knee. Good. Knee, extend, toe to toe, knee to knee. Exactly. See this? Like a door hinge. Your knee is like a door hinge. It stays in the exact same spot. And have the extension come from behind the leg as well. So underneath the leg. Good. Squeezing your bottom, especially when you lift that knee up. One more. Good. Single leg frog extension. So you're in an external rotation with the top leg here. Your knee and toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Toes are pulled back towards your shin. And then you're reaching your heel away from the body and resisting to draw the knee back in line with your hip. Resist. The hand that's on your waist here, on your hip bone, it's there to remind you to engage in those lower abs. So really pull in between your hip bones. Good. Double time. Let's go for an 8. 7. Nice work. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Nice. Frog circles. So you're staying in that same position, the sexy frog position, and you're circling from the hip. So keep the knee fused, opening up into your frog. And here we go. Circling backwards from the hip. So the knee stays fused. You're squeezing into your glute. Nice. Circling up and back. Squeezing in between those hip bones. And then circling forward. Here we go. Changing directions. Still maintaining that external rotation from the hip here. So knee and toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Good. Single leg lift. Kneeling. Oh my goodness. Are you ready? So bringing yourself up onto one leg. I like to bring the knuckle onto the mat. Top hand to your temple. Lift that top leg up. And you're squeezing into that top glute there. Lift the leg as high as you can without moving that body. Good. And then you'll find that the range will slowly decrease here. The more we move, it does hurt. We just keep lifting as much as you can. Good. Really reach those toes away from the hips. You have 3 seconds to go. Excellent. Kneeling oblique crunch. So stay in that same position. And you're curling or crunching that top side of your body there. Here we go. Ribs are closed. Elbows out wide. And here we go. Reaching and crunching. Focusing on your rib to hip connection here through the side of your body. Elbows are pinned out wide. And you're lengthening as you dip down and then crunching as you lift back up. The leg that's out long, keep it nice and straight. And I have my foot flat down on the mat. I find that's much more stable here. Good. Keep going. We have 5 seconds. Nice. Hinge. Let's get those quads nice and strong. Nice strong abs. Bringing yourself onto both knees. Reaching those arms out in front. And your body is solid like a plank of wood here. So ribcage close. Hips are pressed forward. Squeeze your glutes. And let's go. Hinging on back. So you're a moving wooden plank. Go back as far as you can go without collapsing there, without collapsing that body. Start with a smaller range and slowly test yourself. How far back can you go? Reach those arms forward. Maintain that rib to hip connection. And remember to breathe, please. Big breath in. And then breathing out as you bring that body on up. Nice. Scissors. Are you ready to keep that body square and stable with those straight legs swishing past each other? Swishing those inner thighs. Here we go. Lift both legs up and separating to the front and back there. Passing always through that center. Good. You can always check what your toes are doing. Are they pointed? Are they long? Keeping those legs nice and straight. And if you find that you are falling off balance, that's okay. Just continue. Reset. Start again. Drawing in between those hip bones. Good. And bring it down. Straight leg pulses. Nice. The underneath leg is drawn up in a 90-degree angle. Your knees in line with your hip. The top leg is straight. Bringing your hand onto your head like a babe at a beach. Internal rotation with that top leg, and let's go pulsing that leg up and down. So notice that when you're pulsing the leg up and down, it wants to throw your hips off balance. So pull between your hip bones, lift underneath that underside of your body, create a nice little arch, engaging in those obliques. Good. Keeping your body as still as possible while the leg is trying to throw you off balance. Pulsing, 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 engaging in that top glute. Good. Clams. So bend both knees. The toes are back in line with your hips or your bottom. And you're opening that top leg up. Keeping your hips square. Here we go. Let's go. Opening up. Rotating from your hip here. So the femur rotates outwards through your hip socket. Your thigh bone. Keeping those toes connected. And as you open the knee up to the ceiling, keeping your hips square towards me, like two headlights on a car. Squeezing your glute each time you open. Nice work. 5 seconds. Good. Clowns with your leg extension. So remember, the extension comes from the knee. Your hips stay square and stable. You can already start if you like. Here we go. Let's go opening up, extending from the knee, reaching the toes away from the hips, knee to knee, toe to toe. Good. Keep opening up so the knee lifts. If you need to have a bit of extra help there, as I did, just place your fingertips onto your knee and see if you can feel if it's moving. Is it up? Is it moving down? Or is it staying in the same spot? It should be in the same spot. Good. One more. Single leg frog extension. So you've got your nice square hips here. You're in external rotation from the hip here. We'll start off with slow frog extensions, then we'll move it up to a faster beat. Here we go. Toes pull back towards your shin. Extend the leg, heel away from the hip, and then draw the knee back in line with your hip. Still lifting. That's it. Your knee is lifted. You're rotating your thigh bone outwards through your hip socket. Let's go double time. Out and in and out and in. Good. Pick up the pace. Even though you're picking up the pace, you're still controlling and resisting to bend the knee back in and resisting to push out. So imagine you're in water. Resist, resist. Good. Frog circles. So stay in that same position. Your knee and toes are pointed up to the ceiling. And then we'll be doing our circles in both directions. Here we go. And circling on forward. Still keep the knee and toes pointing up. Hips are square. That rotation comes from your femur through your thigh bone. There we go. Good. And knee and toes reverse, pointing up to the ceiling. Good. Keep going, circling backwards. Nice. Kneeling single leg lift. Are you ready to burn that butt? So bring yourself up onto your knee. The top leg is long and strong. Fingertips to your temples. Your fist is on the mat here. Let's go. Lift up. Keep the toes in front of your hip line as you lift. And you're lifting as high as you can here. Tapping the toe back down to the mat. Reaching the toes away from the body as you lift, squeezing into your butt. 10 seconds to go. Remember to breathe. It may even feel like that your leg is slowly decreasing in height, but just keep going. Good. And you're kneeling oblique crunch. So place that foot flat on the mat. Fingertips to your temples, elbows out nice and wide. Nice long spine. And as you lean to the side, you're lengthening the top part of your waist, and then you're contracting. Lengthen the side of the body and then contract. Good. Nice and slow. Big breath in to dip and breathe out as you crunch. Drawing that belly button to your spine. There's a lot to remember here, but always remember to smile. Nice. Alrighty, this is your hinge with your overhead reach. So it's a little bit of an extra challenge. You're hinging that nice, strong plank of wood body of yours and then reaching the arms overhead at the lowest point of that hinge. Ready? Ribcage closed, squeeze your butt. Hinging back, pause. Reach up and lower and then return. Keeping that nice, strong core. Pull that belly button to your spine. Shoulders are down away from your ears as you reach up here, especially the shoulders are down. So reach up as high as you can without lifting your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze your bottom. How low can you go? Good. Single toe tap. Bringing yourself onto your back, please. Supine spine. And this, I find, is a nice breather. Here we go. Legs and tabletop. Squeeze those legs together, rib cages closed, elbows out nice and wide, and sending one toe down to the mat. Switch and change. And again, the knees are fused here. They do not move. You're hinging from your hip. Lowering down one toe and then the other. Challenging those lower abs. Drawing in between those hip bones. And maintaining that rib to hip connection. Continue to breathe, please. 5 seconds to go. Nice work. And nailed it. Let's get your quick stretch in. Starting off with a cat-cow, so hands are under your shoulders and knees are underneath your hips. Big breath in, round that spine, and then look to the ceiling, breathing out. And again, tuck that chin, round that spine. Good. Big breath in, and then breathing out. And then push back, chest down, bum is up, fingertips on the mat, and look forward towards your fingertips as well. It's a really nice stretch for your chest and shoulders, lengthening those abdominals. Good work.